We just want to do good things, be kind, grow, and just produce good food.
Yeah.
Honestly, our thing is quality over quantity.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Breaking Bread Podcast, the podcast all about the amazing food in Birmingham, hosted by me, Liam, and my foodie obsessed brother from another mother, Carl.
Hello.
How's it going, mate?
Yeah, we're a little hungover today, but nevertheless, not too bad.
To be honest, if you went to Couch and tried every single cocktail on the menu and wasn't hungover, you need to look for a refund.
It was ridiculous. It was mental. It was so good though. Every single one.
Obviously, just all in the interest of this podcast, you had to go and try every single one, didn't you?
It's the greatest bar in the world, selling the greatest cocktails I've ever had. Like, you'd be a fool not to try as many as you can when you're there.
All in the interest of just research, obviously. There was no fun involved.
Oh, yeah, no. It was a lot of work. I got there in the end.
It was tough, but somebody had to do it.
Powered through. No, it was fun. It's impossible to not drink loads of their cocktails. It's such a good place. They're so nice.
It's impossible not to like Jake and the team and Kate. Yeah,
everyone there. Tom. Just everything about that place is the music, the vibe. We spoke about great couches before.
And the fact that it's in Sturgis.
But the cocktail menu is different to last time I was there because it's the movie one.
Yeah, last time was music.
Yeah, I think yeah, it was. Yeah, and this time it's changing again soon. So some of these cocktails won't even be there.
Should get there quick.
So yeah, there's definitely a few worth trying.
Stand out.
Carlito's Way was really good. Off the top of my head, trying to remember.
Was the gambler still on there?
No, they don't do that. To be honest, it's that good they don't need to. There were plenty of decent ones.
Oh, so you didn't miss the gambler? You weren't tempted to say?
I asked for it. I said, "Can you any chance you can make this one?" But seriously, the cocktails we've got are that good. You don't need it. I mean, I had 12 Angry Men, Lost in Translation. That was both wicked. In Bruges was a nice cocktail. No, I didn't have a bad one. They were all great. Really good.
Well, you went there after eating at somewhere where I'm looking at daily and thinking I want to eat there.
Yeah, it's been at the on my to-go-to list since it opened, and for anyone that hasn't been, Verbena in Sturgis is fantastic. Well, you've really got to go. Yeah, it's so. I mean, we didn't go for the dinner, which is like 3 courses for a certain amount and chill out, but it's a bit more lunch, so it's a bit more tapasy type vibe. And the food was fantastic, and the desserts, there was something else. They really were.
Desserts look unreal. So it's just kind of, it's not fancy or nothing, is it? Like, it's just
really it's just good, honest, seasonal food. That's what it is. Whatever's in season, that's what they're selling.
Small menu, love it. Like.
Yeah. Well, you could order, like me and Sean nearly ordered the whole menu.
Oh, I love that.
Like, just for lunch, you could have ordered loads.
I love that. Also, it looks a bit like that Q-Box that's just opened at Q-Box up in Harborne.
Well, that's a takeaway.
Yeah, I know it's a takeaway, but have you seen the dishes there as well?
Yeah, they're
small
going for
plates, seasonal.
Takeaway. Yeah. But this was great. We chilled out, had some nice wine. They've got great beers. They've got the Colonel on the list, so you can have a couple of their beers, which are one of my all-time favourite breweries. Great wine, so we got a really nice pet nat while we're there. The food, and it's so reasonably priced. It really is.
So if that's not on your list, it should be.
Should be at the top of everyone's list.
It's top of mine. I'm gonna book it actually. So
we'll put it this way: it hasn't gone off the list. Still on the list to go there again, because I'm just like, no, I'd have to go there again anytime. It's that good. But no, it's not happening.
Obviously, Beer Central is not happening this weekend.
No Beer Central. It's been moved to September.
Yeah, so obviously you hear us talk about that quite a bit, so we thought we'd just let you know that if you're planning on coming down for it and you haven't seen the post, it's obviously not happening. I'm sure they've sent emails out there to people.
Yeah, everyone seems to know now. I know a few people have had emails.
Yeah, obviously we were looking forward to that. I'm sure we'll find something.
It's not cancelled. It's just moved, so it's not an issue.
Yeah.
If
Cool.
it cancelled, I'd have been heartbroken.
Same as that.
But it is what it is. You can't. There's no way you can do that type of thing and be good or as good as it could be if everyone's got to stay seated.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
My favourite thing about that whole thing was the vibe of just walking around, chatting to people. And if you can't do that, then it's not worth doing. So it is worth moving and doing it when you can do it properly.
Yeah. Not mad. Just disappointed.
Yeah. But it's just moved. We'll just have to go on the res that day anyway. Find something else. Yeah.
Some food somewhere.
I'm sure that's doable.
We'll do that. On to today's episode.
Oh, what an episode, you lucky people.
This is genuinely one of... Oh shit.
Sorry, my dog
That was
just
the dog
sneezed.
sneezing. This is today's episode. Frankie and Becky from Baja.
Yeah, this was great. This was so much fun.
Humane food.
I think this is the funniest episode we've done.
They're hilarious, man.
Yeah, I just remember laughing the
Yeah,
whole way through.
like, trying to edit it and listen back to it last week. I've just been laughing my head off on my own, sitting on my own laughing.
Well, there was a time where we forgot to record. We were just sitting there with all the stuff, just drinking and having a chat, and we're like, oh shit, we've got to start recording. I forgot we were doing a podcast. Because they make you feel that at ease and that comfortable and so open with their stories, and they're so much fun to listen to as well.
Yeah, it's great to hear them talk about food as well, like the passion they have for putting flavour into everything.
Yeah, and they're just completely not judgy on the whole thing.
Obviously they do, I think they've changed it. They used to say vegan food, but it looks like they've changed it to humane food, which is a little bit better.
Yeah,
They seem keen on dropping like rigid kind of titles and like
me and labels.
categories.
I'm
Labels,
not a fan of labels at
me
all.
neither. Like, you know what?
It is food. It is what it is, man. If it just happens to be vegan, then fair play.
I mean, we're definitely not vegan, but we were keen to do this podcast because they're like, no, we're not interested in labels, like putting people off, like trying to like militantly lecture people. They were just like, we do fucking delicious food, and that's it. Like, it's delicious. Don't care that it's vegan or not. It's delicious.
Yeah.
You had the Sunday roast before, so it was
Yeah, I've eaten their food, mate. It's fantastic.
scrolling through pictures of it yesterday to try and get like a few pictures together to promote the podcast. And man, I was so hungry. All of it looked wicked. Like.
Yeah. I need to eat. To be fair, I need to eat more of their food.
Yeah, I mean they're doing pop-ups. You can find them at pop-ups in places all around Brum. But I think they're, as you'll hear in the podcast, they're really looking hard now to try and get their own solid brick walls and set up a whole experience with like cocktails and a full bar. So
Yeah, I can't wait for that day.
yeah, this is just an uplifting,
It's fun.
great
It's good.
fun listening
You're definitely gonna laugh. There's some good stories.
episodes. So
Time.
sit back, make yourself a cup of tea, and enjoy this podcast. Frankie and Becky, welcome back to Breaking Bread.
Good
Again.
morning.
Lovely to be here.
Long time no speak.
Am I right?
We better let people in. So we just recorded I thought we recorded for half an hour, but we did not record. I did not press record again.
So
Yeah.
It was a good conversation, though.
We had a great conversation. It was a test run, and now we know exactly what we're doing.
Practice makes perfect.
So how are you both doing today?
Fantastic.
We're good, thanks. We're good.
Good.
I'm 6
Good.
beers in. I'm joking now. This is my first pint. Absolute first pint. Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's good for 6 beers.
Look at her go.
It's all the
Irish that
potato.
runner.
So it is the pasta.
We'll get to that,
Soakage.
We'll get
All
to
the
that.
noodles.
Oh,
So
goodness.
many noodles.
So most people would probably know you better for Baja,
Indeed.
vegan restaurant, mostly pop-ups. Tell us a bit about how you got started with Baja.
I feel like I'm repeating myself again now, but
Have you guys not been listening to a word we've been talking about?
explained this before. No, you go,
Okay.
you go.
I mean, shall I?
Yes, go ahead, go
Okay,
on.
lovely, lovely. So the concept started in 2017, but in 2018 we thought, nope, that's it, job done. I've decided to quit my job in Valentine's, and I thought it just needs to be done. There was just a massive market in Birmingham. There's a huge gap, and just no food. There was no food that we enjoyed when we went out. We loved food so much when we wanted to dine. We wanted to do it well. We didn't want to go with the one option and go mad night out. That wasn't it? Mad on the falafels. So I just thought, there's a bit more to life than this. Let's just create it. If you can't get it, just create it. So that's essentially what we wanted to do. And the meaning of Baha it derives from the Irish language Baha, meaning life and feed. And I just thought it just made total sense. So life, feed, and because myself and Becky, we actually met like in a whiskey bar in the Julia Quarter. Ishke Baha, meaning whiskey. There was like a triple meaning, meaning water of life. Yeah. So I just thought it was a really nice idea just to incorporate all of those things: life, food, water of life. And that's when we started our vegan journey as well, when we met. So I thought it was just quite a nice little thing. Changed up the spelling because obviously no one can read Irish. They think, what? It's not phonetically spelled. My mind is being blown here.
So my wife's name's Siobhan, so...
Oh, Shiobahan.
Yeah. We nearly made the mistake of calling our daughter Saoirse. It's her middle name now and I still can't spell it. So
I just love that name too.
I love it, but my mum can't spell Siobhan. I thought there's no chance she'll ever get to... Every card it's spelt wrong somehow. We've had every possible version of it wrote down.
Oh no. Yeah. I still like to ask Becky, here, you wouldn't just read me this line
just
of
mockery.
Irish?
Pure mockery.
It is pure mockery at this point. I'm like, right, go on, just try and
when you and your cousin get together, it's like,
go on,
spell this.
Go on,
and then they'll go on their phone and they'll have a whole list.
Oh,
of
it's
names
fantastic.
To say. I was like, is this your entertainment factor? I was like, all right, 3 shots, maybe you'll get 2 names. No. Start charging.
I'm terrible.
Yeah, you are.
Something because I do actually miss speaking Irish. I really do. But now I've lost most of it. That is my only fun now. So I'm like, yo, Becky, you don't have any Irish? Say Siobhan. How cruel.
Very cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Baha. That's how Baha derived from. So we just thought, we're going to start this here now. We cannot stand going out anymore, having terrible food. So let's just quit our jobs. Let's go wild. Because remember, we started doing little bits actually for hospitality at 11 o'clock at night after working really long hours in hospitality. I come back from my commute from Leicester, Worcester, all these crazy places. And it was I'm going to do some pasties and cakes and all these things, all these really nice things I would love to have in the bar shift at 11 o'clock. Let's just deliver it. So I remember contacting these bars and I was like, yeah, do you know what's a really good idea? You should all be fed at this specific time because I know you're going to be dropping your energy levels. Just here, we'll deliver to you. Aren't we the legends, right? And so we went into the Victoria Island Bar, all these places, and I was like, look, here you are, here's your deal. Just try it out, see what you think, kind of thing. So there we are, in our 1-bed apartment, just baking mental cookies, all
Walking
these pasties.
Half 11 night down.
I mean, yep, off to work we go. And it was just,
Is it vegan? Sorry.
all vegan, yeah. So
vegan.
we started doing all we started experimenting with all of these things.
Yeah.
So from cookies going to offices all around Colmore, it was just, we just did everything we could to get our food out there. It was like, yo, we have a new recipe, try it. Tell me what you think. We don't care. It's fine. We can improve. Let's just do our bit. And it just went down a storm, and it just kind of grew from there. And John from 1,000 Trades, he just got in contact one day. He was like, hey, I think you'd be great as a pop-up here. Come down, see what you think, blah, blah, blah. Had a little meeting with him. And then we just started. And what was supposed to be a little short stint was like a week or two. Was it 6 weeks?
6 weeks.
6 weeks, because it just went really well. And we thought, oh my goodness. So
he was happy, we were happy, clientele was happy.
Yeah.
We were spoiled.
We were spoiled there because it was such a lovely venue, great
it's
community.
one of my all-time favourite places.
1,000 Trades is just great.
John's
It's just such a
nice.
communal vibe. It was just everything we wanted to represent. It was just wholesome. So we did that, and we're like, oh my goodness, where do we even go from here? Because we're like, oh, I want to do it all over again. I don't want to ever stop. But I just remember it was the 1st of June.
Yeah.
1st of June, 2017, 2018? 2018. I think it must have been, I don't remember the year anymore.
Around that time,
we really just said yes to everything. We were the yes mans of vegan market. We're like, yeah, we'll do it. Let's go. And we put ourselves under such pressure. And at the last day, we said yes to an indoor market, seasonal markets. We were like, yep, it's the last day of our kitchen residency at 1,000 Trades. And we said yes to doing our first ever street food market
At the Bond
at
as
seasonal
well.
market
Wow.
at the Bond.
We just 2 of us, by the way.
Just 2 of us. Just the 2 of us. Like, yeah.
How do
we'll
we
do
split
that.
our
That's
time?
cool.
Yeah.
So we just said, yeah, we'll adapt. That's how we're going to do it. And we luckily, like, I had this woman, she was like, she loved her cheese. And she's like, ooh, that sounds amazing. Oh my God, you're French as well. She sold that cheese like a mofo. We
were very lucky in our
It was
industry.
cashew cheese now. And we didn't like wanted to say it was vegan cheese because no one wanted to hear vegan cheese because like, why would that exist? That was where it was at the time. So we were like experimenting like cashew cheeses, doing like charcoal and chili cheeses because it looked aesthetically mental, but it worked. It was just like all these mad experiments. So she just sold it. We had an agency chef who was a friend as well. He ran the kitchen as well at 1,000 Trades. Had a runner. It was just clockwork. It
We
just made
were
sense.
lucky because we've been in the industry for so long that we had contacts and friends
We
that
just-
were able to help
yeah.
us out. So we were able to draw on those guys to see if we could make it work, and we did.
Yeah.
We were
Very,
fortunate.
very lucky.
Yeah, we had some good people behind us, and we're very, very, very grateful for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was the food like at 1,000 Trades? What kind of bits and pieces were you doing?
So we did like lasagna. We did like
California Dreamin'.
California Dreamin'.
So that was blitzed up cauliflower raw, but then you like bake it with a bit of
Med
seasoning,
veg, hemp oil,
Delicious.
seeds,
It looked-
chili oil.
It was nice, man. And when we first started our journey, obviously seitan, which you've probably all heard of now as a vegan or non-vegan, is like it's a wheat
Wheat
gluten
gluten,
flavor
yeah.
flour
Yeah.
that binds together and you get all chicken nuggets or you make whatever. So we started experimenting with that. And we had our chicken burger that just sold like hotcakes. Like it literally just went out.
Yeah.
And we had a queue from 12 o'clock when we started the Bond till 5 o'clock in the evening to be finished.
Yeah.
We had a queue of at least.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the
it was
number.
just constant. It was constant, and
Yeah.
it was just nice to. At the end of that day, after getting all over all the stress and.
Bear in mind, it was stressful because
It was,
I
it
remember
was.
weeks in advance. We're like, right, we need a setup to do like street food. And I think it was 10 o'clock that morning. Now, bear in mind, it was like last residency, the indoor market. Okay, that's all
Starts
set
at
up.
12.
We still don't have our setup
None.
to do our street food. We start in 2 hours. We were having a hernia at this point. So we're like, okay, everything's fine. It's going to be okay. And it was literally like around Digbeth. And it was like, guys,
The company
I
that we got to
really-
design it.
like, I really need it like as soon as possible. It's like, I mean, like we're starting service in like an hour or two. And they're like, fine, okay. And I remember the only dimensions I said was like, make sure it fits into this vehicle, please. That's all I need.
I have a Ford Focus.
It was
So
just
I have
like,
a Ford.
shove it all in,
Alright.
shove it all in. Of
It needed
course
to
it
fit in
didn't
there.
fit. It never was going to fit. So we were pulling in all the favors. I'm like, like U-Juice is like, yeah, we'll help you. We'll do this, we'll do that. Like, there's just
And
bits, like there's
West
loads
Midlands Jerk Centre were absolute
West Midlands
legends.
Jerk Chicken
They helped
Centre,
us
yeah,
ship
yeah.
that stuff. They carried it all the way for us back to our.
They were like, we all pulled
Legends. Yeah,
together and they just absolutely, they were a massive,
They were
support on the day.
It's quality, yeah.
So by
great.
1 minute to 12,
we were ready to
don't
go.
know
Actually.
how it happened.
Mum bought the change.
We were good
Had to
to
ring my
go.
mum and put half 11. I was like, Mum, I got no change. She went to the bank for me. But
Yeah.
it was one of those situations, guys. Like we knew what we were doing, but we didn't.
The
we'd
stress
never
of it
been
was
in that situation
insane.
before, so we
Yeah.
were just calling on all the favors, and at the end of the day, it worked. We did really well. We were happy.
The day before was shocking. I mean, like the prep, we had 23
flour
hour
everywhere.
shifts. 20. I'm kind of gutted we didn't go the extra hour. Just go, well,
We had an
you
hour's
got to do
sleep.
what you got to do. But it was 23 hours, and I'm at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. at 1,000 Trades. We were still doing the seitan bits. Now we
Yeah.
did, I think it was like 250 seitan burgers, but the nuggets we were selling. We're like, that's a great idea. Loads of labor involved. Let's do that. And the way I did it, like, I love to be complicated because I really want to penetrate all of the flavor. My methods are mental because I just want to make sure it's like the best texture possible. And I just remember saying, oh God, I really hope that the prep was done. Because I remember like pulling in the favor of like, guys, can you please make sure you season it with this specific seasoning? It wasn't done. And
We tasted one of the burgers at 4 o'clock in the morning.
At
We
4
were
o'clock
like,
in the
"Oh
morning, I
my
was like,
God,
Becky,
that
I'm
is nowhere
so
near what it
scared.
needs to be."
I'm so scared. What if it isn't to the spec I need? She's like, don't do it, Frank. Don't do it. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. And I took a bite and I was like, no. And I don't know if anyone's ever like worked with wheat gluten. It is messy to clean.
It's
Any
like cornflour.
moisture,
You know,
it-
cornflower
not even
Yeah,
that.
it's
It just,
nightmare.
oh my God, it's just a nightmare. So anyway, remember Becky came over. We were literally just about to clean down. Long day. We just want to get the hell out of here. Probably want to die at that point. But she just like got the nugget and just slammed it into the bowl of wheat gluten. The flour just went everywhere. And I was like, Becky, get the F out of this kitchen before I kill you. And we just broke down into tears. I was like, nothing's worth this. Nothing's worth it. Nothing.
Just call and cancel. We won't do
It's
it.
fine.
We won't do it.
I don't care anymore. And I just remember, like, we had to, I think it was like the bakery, we collected I think we like a 20-minute nap. We're like, okay, we're good. We're fresh. We're good. We got this. We got this.
Slap your face.
Yeah, man.
The cold water.
Get the burger buns. Get the burger buns. And that was just the day then. So we were broken by 6 p.m. that day.
Yeah.
It was done. But we just looked at each other. We didn't even move. I just remember my back was at a 45-degree angle the whole day. As soon as I straightened, I was like, oh my God, I think I'm dead. I don't know if I'm dead. Can Bruce Willis see me? Bruce, can you see me? But I just remember looking over at 6 o'clock and we just did the nod. We're like,
We did it. We did it.
And we still do it. And I think it was like, right, we did it. We actually did it. So because of that specific day, we thought, if we can do that,
We can do anything.
we can do anything. We've got this. It's fine.
Nothing else can go wrong.
Nothing else.
There's
Nothing
nothing
can
more
go
stress
worse
in a
than
day that we
It
could have
was-
taken
To
on.
Make
to
a
be honest
break,
with you.
is it like you either turn right after that and say never
Nah,
again,
nah.
or you go, this is it now, this is
That's
us.
it.
I
That
think
was
a
peak.
therapist would call us mental.
They're like,
but,
no, that's not healthy.
but we did it anyway.
We did it.
Have you
That
both
was-
always been chefs?
Say again, sorry.
Have you both always been chefs?
No, I started in hospital.
1904. It was cold.
Back in the 19th. Not always, no. I've done a lot. Cocktail bartending, managing bars, that sort of scene. Chefing was something I got into because I was honestly just sick of serving drunk people. I got sick at, no, honestly, at 2 o'clock in the morning. I remember the last time I wanted to be at the bar was at the RVT. I remember serving someone, and this was just after we met, and they were at the bar, and it was like, it must have been like 11:30, 12 o'clock. And I was like, oh, I gotta have another shot. I was like, all right, have another shot. Technically, you shouldn't have. But anyway, so I gave him another shot, and 30 seconds later, projectile vomit all over the bar top. At that point in time, I was like, I think I'm done. I think I might just need to go elsewhere.
I am tapping out.
Yeah, I did it when I first started TGI Fridays. I did everything involved in that, which was front of house, back of house, and managerial. So I had a little bit of experience anyway. So I spoke to the chef that was at RVT, and they invited me into the kitchen to work with them and learn from them. And it was Jen at the time, and she was brilliant. She taught me a lot. And that actually spurred on my journey to go vegan. I worked with a chef, and he was vegetarian at the time, and he just started talking to me and spewing out all these facts that used to come. I think it was fresh to him as well. So he felt like he had an environment where he could be just like, oh, I learnt this today. So like he would just spiel at me on a daily basis, and I just was intaking. I was like, it never crossed my mind to go vegan or change how I ate.
So you were both meat eaters at this point?
Yeah. My sausage sandwich
Absolutely.
from the cafe behind the RVT
2
was
fried
great.
eggs,
Oh,
3
the fried
sausages,
egg.
white bread, plenty of butter, please.
Good, yeah, good bread.
Oh, I can feel my arteries. I'll have double, please. Thank you. No,
Steak bake for Greg's.
yeah.
Nice.
Remember, we don't have Greg's in Ireland. So moving here, I'm sorry, you can get a hot pasty for how much? I don't understand. Is it a finance option? I don't understand. This is incredible.
But we don't have proper jambos here either.
Jambons. Don't talk to me about the
Do you know how many
jambons.
From a
Is that
petrol
put on the
station.
menu?
From
You
a
don't
petrol
even-
station.
Jambons were my jam. They were. And I mean, I will create. I'm going to create them just for this moment. And when I do create the jambon, the Irish jambon, I'm going to think of you.
Most of Birmingham now are probably thinking, what the?
He's a jambon.
What's that?
Wait
You know
till
what?
wait till we release
Wait.
it.
Get ready,
won't
Brum.
ever deny
it.
Get
It's good.
ready.
You're gonna find
the
out.
jambons are coming.
It's like pancakes. Do you remember the old like really crispy pancakes that you used to be able to buy in like
Findus
packs?
pancakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Did that.
I think it was last year, just before lockdown. I was like, do you know what I really, really freaking love? It's disgraceful, but I really love a Findus pancake. It was mince and onion. It just brought me back to this childhood, like, guilty pleasure. I went in. I was like, Becky, look, I've created this here. Check it out. Like, what do you think? And
Delicious.
it just went down a treat. And I remember, like, we had, there was a local to Churchill's at the time, and his name's Donal. Bless him, he did pass away during lockdown. Wonderful friend of ours. And I remember I went up to him and I was like, right, do you remember the pancakes? Jesus, I do indeed. Go on. And I remember, like, he wasn't a vegan at all. He would just have his pints at the end of the bar, wasn't into his food that much. He was like, yeah, go on, I'll have whatever it is. So he was like, he was the critic. No food blogger could be like, ooh, I'm amazed. Like, oh, no. You're not Donal. You won't give me the critique that I really need. Do you know what I mean? So he's like, a bit of spice would do that. Oh, okay. That hurt my feelings. That's fine. I'll do that. But it was what it was. And that's what I loved about him. It was just pure, raw honesty at its purest form. And it just made us just go, this is a lovely environment. And he just had the bar every day. It was just a joyous occasion. God, I miss him. But yeah, he was fantastic. So we just started creating all these little small Irish dishes as well on quiet times. I was like, do you know what? It's non-peak time. Let's create mad things in the kitchen. And that's what I loved about it. Absolutely loved it. Because me and Becky, we just love creating new things. So when it's really, really busy, it's absolutely amazing. But sometimes it can be a curse because you don't get that time to go, I want to create this. I want to really create this. So lockdown was a very, very eye-opening year for us, essentially. We had a lot of creations in the kitchen, from fresh pasta to all sorts. Yeah, we did loads of bits. So we kind of enjoyed it, although we did go a little mental because it went from 100 million miles per hour to, okay,
Where were you before lockdown? Churchill's? Was it like a...
That was our,
Was it, how long was it for? How long was it meant to be?
Well, we had that for the contract was until, like, it was a very long
10
term.
years minimum.
10 years.
So we were there going to be there for a very long time. So we were settled, and it was really nice to be able to settle in a place and help see it grow and see us grow and be able to just have one place. Because we've done a lot of takeovers, I think, over the last couple of years. And that's just because we
just like to adapt. God, we love a challenge, don't we? We went from...
I also don't want the financial restrictions that comes with, it's a big thing to take on. And I don't think...
Yeah, I think it was just kind of like a massive learning curve for us to understand and develop different kind of genres of different street food, different menus.
Different
we had
locations
time to
as well.
Create, because obviously when you kind of open a place, it's like, okay,
That's you.
This is our mission, this is what we do, this is exactly the brand. We wanted to play with it, we wanted to play with our food, and that was it. There was no rules, and I didn't want to restrict ourselves to say, right, this is exactly what we do. Yeah. We wanted to be versatile because there wasn't many options at the time. Like, okay, it might have been one or two places, but it wasn't really fair to say, okay, I only like this, so I'm only doing this. I wanted to learn. We both wanted to learn. So that's when we started creating. Okay, we went from like, going from 1,000 trays to going to like the Duke, to like Boarding Co, to even fitting the kitchen into that place. Do you know what I mean? It was just, we just did loads and loads
so
of
a lot
bits.
to festivals, indoor markets.
And there was just lots. There was lots of opportunities, and we're very grateful of that. Like anyone who's taken us on, I'm like, thank you very much, guys. You're
much
amazing.
Appreciated.
But yeah, we just got to have fun, and there's been massive highs and lows because it was like there would be some days like we put so much pressure on ourselves at the very beginning. It'd be like a Monday afternoon, we're like, this is it now, we failed miserably, and then Friday night we're like, we can't cope, it's gonna be mental. Like it was a massive learning curve, and I think when we got into Churchill's, it was such an amazing opportunity because it just felt good. The whole team. Oh my God, the bar team, we were spoiled. We had about 20 staff. We had about, I think it was like 10, 13 staff for Baja, which we really, really grew the team. Wow. The bar team were incredible. And when you have a collaborative opportunity, there's a big risk of like, will it work? Will it just be any tension? Will this work? There's just so many things that could go wrong, and it just worked beautifully, and we were very, very happy
lucky.
there.
Yeah, very happy, very lucky. And unfortunately, COVID hit, and like many businesses, it disrupted all plans.
Oh yeah.
And everyone just had to adapt on the spot and figure out what the hell we were going to do for the rest of the time. We were expecting to open up at Churchill's, back to be fair, in September last year, and then we got a phone call at the beginning of September saying that they're not going to open up anymore. So then we obviously found out then that we lost that restaurant.
Which was
like most people, we're nothing new, nothing special. It happened to a lot of people. So it's unfortunate for most of us. We were just one of the lucky ones where we didn't have the contractual legal constrictions to one site. We were lucky to have that collaboration where we weren't financially secure. Like we didn't have that financial where we had to keep pumping money in. So we had the little bit of freedom. We just had to adapt and figure out how the best to do it. And that's when we did our collaboration with Little Blackwood. We did a 2-week takeover there for our fine dining, which worked really well. Sophia and Ben, legends.
Absolutely.
They're going to think we're on the take. Little Black would get a mention.
They
So
go
if
for
Ben,
it.
every podcast we've ever done, they get a mention.
Because they're legends. They're
Oi,
just-
Ben Sophia, do you mind? Do you mind? No, we absolutely love them. And
we
the
do.
fact that we only just met them during lockdown as
know,
well
a
was
bit
really
weird.
special because it was a friend that introduced. And when we have the opportunity, because obviously they're masters of the craft, it was just, they're very passionate what they do. And it was just so refreshing to meet a couple as well. Because obviously when you're a couple and you work together 24/7, everything is all just joined at the hip. It's bizarre how we haven't killed each other, how they haven't killed each other. It's like, wow, we deserve Blue Peter badges. It's amazing.
I actually bought some Blue Peter badges.
Oh yeah,
over
by the way,
lockdown.
Becky
This
genuinely.
is what we actually say to eat. Where's my Blue Peter badge? So I actually bought some.
She's
Becky
like,
has
there
her
you
own
go.
Blue Peter badges.
I'm sad I'm not wearing one today. I'm sorry. I let the team down. But yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
And the venue was lovely. Like we just love Moseley as well.
Yeah,
it
we
was
do.
a
It's a great
lovely
location.
community.
Yeah.
It's a nice
And
place.
so that was a great opportunity. We got to play with lots of different things. We even did
fun.
an Irish. It was one Irish dish. It was like the col cannon dish.
And black
So
pudding.
we
Yeah,
we
yeah.
used spherification for like the egg yolk and everything. The col cannon, the black pudding. I mean, it was just like all these classics
so cool
that
to
just
experiment.
would never be introduced onto a restaurant menu. And I was like, no, I love this. I'm making it vegan. This is what's happening. And it was just, that's what we want to do every day. We're like, yeah, I want to do this. I don't care. Let's break the rules. Do you know what I mean?
Do you
And
find a
that's
lot of your
about
dishes come from things you wish you seen on menus when you walked into a venue?
100%. And most times it's like, oh, I'm in the mood for this. And that will be almost like the genre we'll go with for a while because it's like what we really want. Because we put so much love into it, that will be the time that we go, right, we're going to do this because we're all in on this. We're invested into this recipe, into this kind of style of food. And that's how we've kind of just learnt as years went on. It was just like, right, we're comfortable in this. What's next? And I think every day is a learning day. Like every day is a school day. So
Every day should be a learning day
exactly.
for
It should
everybody.
be.
Yeah,
that is.
definitely.
for any chef that goes, yeah, I'm
Even a chef
amazing.
just in general.
Mate, you
people,
Life,
I think
life
people
in
are-
general. Yeah.
Absolutely. Any chef has ever gone, yep, I'm the best. You've retired.
You've
Merry
shot off.
Christmas.
Is there
It's
any-
done.
Move over.
Is there any books or anything like that that helped you get into the good side of vegan cooking? Is there any
You
ones?
will be
If someone was listening now and they wanted to
disgraced.
get a book, or
Well, hang on.
was it
for
all
me,
self-taught?
If I was going to get a vegan book, what book should I get?
I'm not
Baja?
going to lie.
You don't have one
Coming
out
soon.
That's a plug and a half, that is, isn't it?
Oh,
There's
God.
got to be a
Royston's
market for a
near
Baja
you.
book. Yeah, that's it.
We've been asked quite a lot, but once again, that's a project that, because whenever we open up a collaboration, it's us two that run it, and it's us two that we have, our staff of, unfortunately, there's a few of them that have left from COVID of last year, and that was on their own back. They wanted to go and do different things, and it's fine. So we've lost some staff members. So we're condensed to a smaller team, so we don't have
Yeah, our team's really
the
small.
capability of doing anything else but
So
concentrate on what
small.
we're doing right now. However, it's something that we do want to do.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that we're currently doing right now. Like right now, we have like hummus and flatbreads, but a lot of people don't realize during service, like we're making
Bread.
fresh
Fresh
flatbreads.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And fresh hummus, all of it's homemade.
Everything's from
made in
scratch,
the
and
kitchen.
people just don't understand that. They're like, "What? Like, no, everything is literally from fresh, from the sauces to the mayos to like all of these things, all done from fresh." So
In terms of
we
recipes,
don't
though,
have recipe. Well, sorry, we
do.
do obviously,
but we don't.
but because we're always trying to perfect it all the
It's always
time
tweaks.
as we keep growing, we'll never just go right. That's the base recipe. That's it now, stuck. We just kind of want to keep improving every single time.
And I think it's one of
So-
the reasons why certain chefs that have taken on have struggled in the kitchen, because some chefs need that structure and
Yeah.
they need to have that recipe so they can follow that to a T, and that's fine. Unfortunately, the way we work, we don't have that luxury, because what we do is we taste and we create and then we adapt it. And I can't write down an adaptation. Sometimes it needs a little bit more salt. Sometimes it needs a
Yeah.
little bit more seasoning here. It's not the same recipe all the time. So in terms of recipe books, I mean, my mum bought me when I went vegan.
We've got 1,000 recipe books.
just-
Everyone keeps buying. It's like, oh, this is a book I picked up. You might like it. I'm like,
We've been through a few
we've got
recipes.
a library of books that we don't read because we're like, oh, that's a cool idea.
Do you know what it is though? Over lockdown and before, we were trying so many recipes and we followed it to a T.
Just
I
wasn't.
promise you, when you
wanted.
follow a recipe to a T, there's always tweaks you're gonna have to make because it doesn't
Yeah,
taste
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like they don't. The salt, and I
base
don't know if
level,
it's
innit?
like the government when we had that big push years ago about how healthy you need to be and you need to take down your salt intake and everyone concentrate on that. Recipes actually took down the salt intake, but what people fail to realize is that salt adds a different flavor concept, and if you
Yeah.
don't balance that out in your dish tastes flavorless. So the fact that these recipes are trying to go to a guideline and have a minimum amount of salt in really affects the flavour.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to eat these recipes all the time, which means you can have that little bit of added extra salt to make that flavour and that recipe better. So we've never followed a book. We have read a few.
We like to break the rules.
Yeah, but we don't. Yeah, if you go into our kitchen, there's no recipe book. The head chef that I've just put in place at the moment, he's been with us for a year and a half now.
Yeah,
He's
he's
with us at churches, bless him. James and Julia are awesome. They're our base chef kitchen, and they're awesome. However, that he does struggle a little bit that we don't have recipes because he's quite structured in what he does. However, he's adapted very well. And he understands how we work. So if I give him a recipe off the top of my head, he'll write it down and he'll have a base. And then I'll say to him, right, all I do is show him the consistency that I'm after. And I show him, I say, taste it. And that's the flavour I'm looking for. I can't say you need 2 tablespoons of salt or pepper, or you need 2 tablespoons of this seasoning. That's the base. Add it. Taste it. If it needs more, add it.
He's probably came from a kitchen where they got the picture cards all over the wall with the recipes.
Like back in the day,
A lot of restaurants,
chains.
sometimes not just chains, sometimes a lot of the higher end restaurants will have at least a binder with the recipes or something, maybe not plastered over the wall like Weatherspoons used to, but
I understand why that works, especially if you're a big kitchen. Like right now we're quite a small kitchen, so we might say
we've got that luxury of having these ideas bouncing off each other and everything. But I think a lot of places, if you really focus on the actual understanding of the food, because a lot of chefs, they go in, they're like, I theoretically know how to put a dish together, but do you understand how to develop a dish? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you understand the textures you need, the flavor, why you need to balance it a specific way? Do you understand that? And that's one thing that we're very, very, very lucky, because the chefs, they've developed so beautifully over time. I'm like, wow, you've really grown. But not only that, they're coming into us on a Wednesday and saying, guys, I have this recipe, please try it. And they're cool. Growing, like they have this initiative because they want to keep growing, rather than like, there's homework, I need to learn this recipe. It's not what we're about. And it's just like you want to just give them that passionate kind of vibe of like, here, you get to create. It's not all just,
it's a good way of being, because like what I don't understand a lot of the times with a lot of restaurants is, surely like you get a bag of ingredients and like you get like a bag of potatoes. Not every potato tastes exactly the same. So if you expect it to follow a recipe, how can you got to be able to be flexible in that? I know it works very well at a lot of restaurants, but maybe it puts you ahead of some. Like have you read that book, Be More Pirate?
No, I haven't.
So it's like basically instead of just following the normal and doing stuff because that's the way it's always been done. Go off and do your own thing, like be more pirate, and that's what I use.
I think that's a mantra in life in general. Right now, especially.
I wish I'd say I'd invented that. I didn't invent this. Like,
I'm going to say you did. All credit is to you, my friend.
Stop telling people about this book. Just start saying.
There's an Amazon best-selling book and a podcast about it.
Jeff.
So I haven't invested. I wish I could remember the author and I'd tell you.
It must be a great position though, because I don't want to say normal cooking. With cooking that involves meat and all dishes, there are recipe books and everything exists, so you can look up how to do a shepherd's pie, or you can look up how to do coq au vin or something like that. It already exists, people have already done it. But in the area you're working in, if you want to do something like that, you've pretty much got to invent it.
I think everyone has their own
so you get to create brand new dishes, and that must be very exciting at times.
It's so exciting. I remember like the first time we came across banana blossom. Do you know anything about banana blossom?
No,
so it's literally the cluster of the banana family, and it's this beautiful, like meaty, textural, just gorgeous. Oh, it's amazing. It's so
teardrop.
It's almost like artichoke.
Yeah,
that would be the
artichoke.
closest description I have to it. And when we were thinking, okay, classic dish of the UK, what are we saying? Of course, it's fish and chips. So we thought, right, fresh hand-cut chips, mint mushy peas, homemade tartar sauce. What's the main attraction? Because obviously everyone was going crazy on tofu, but no one could ever marinate tofu. They just didn't get it. They were like, we'll just wrap it in seaweed and I don't know, a really terrible batter. Yeah, great. That will suit the vegans. And then you have the whole vegan tax on top of it. It's like, that's £40,000 because it's very new and exciting. No, it's not, mate. That's
when you sit at a table though and you get your dish and it looks good because the batter looks good, your chips look good, this is going to be really... and then you go into it and it's just this white
block of
With
sadness.
with no flavour.
I'm so glad you said that, because if you started to sit here and tell me tofu was the best taste ever, this would have been
Tofu
When
is
it's done
it's
right,
when you,
oh my
awful.
god,
I've never had
it's
it right.
amazing.
I'll just say it's
you need to come to us.
atrocious.
Challenge
'Cause you
accepted,
season
my
it.
friend.
When you season tofu right, it tastes phenomenal. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of tofu. Like
No.
buying it out, like people just don't seem to have what it takes to make tofu taste good. I haven't come
No.
across a good
Yeah, like
tofu fish
yes to do
especially.
it.
Haven't come across it.
I do it as a last resort of I think I'm dying of hunger. Let's go with this option. But I think with banana blossom, because the texture was very much almost like cod-like, it was rattling people's minds, because like a lot of places in Birmingham just didn't really, it was never really done.
No.
So we're like, okay, well, let's rattle a few feathers. Let's do it. Let's just do it. And it was like the Marmite of the vegan world, because it was too realistic for some vegans, and then
Yeah.
it messed people like who did eat fish, and it was like, what? And that's what we wanted. It's almost like the purest art form. If it made you feel something, we were doing something right.
That's your bish and chips.
Fish and chips.
Yeah,
That's your signature dish. I was
Yeah.
going to ask you
Yeah.
what your signature dish
So
is.
what? That's one. I think one of our signature
And
dishes.
Nobo.
I think Nobo was like so it's shredded jackfruit, marinated in barbecue spices, golden panko fried, smothered in barbecue sauce, crispy onions, and a homemade garlic mayo.
Who works for
I've
Nefas?
said that once or twice before. So again, jackfruit. Wasn't a massive fan of jackfruit. I think we sound like anti-vegans. Like honestly,
It's just been done really wrong in a lot of places.
briny taste.
It's tasted a lot of
Nothing
food from a lot of places.
seasoned.
It's just-
So yeah,
They've
we-
literally just taken it out of a can and then just battered it and then fried it and then expected it to taste good. It's like,
Yeah,
where's the
it's
seasoning?
hard
You
work.
haven't even drained the brine off. You haven't even squeezed the brine. Like you
Yeah,
haven't done anything
brine
to it.
up.
You've just done such a bad job with such a versatile and great tasting. Like it's what you need to imagine in banana blossom and jackfruit is it goes to a point where it's just a base. So like meat would be,
Meat,
it's just the
exactly, yeah.
base. If you taste raw, which you can't, but if you taste raw chicken, there's not really much flavour to it. It's just got that texture. That's what jackfruit and banana blossom is to in the vegan world. It's just if you season it right, slow roast it, it tastes delicious.
Yeah.
Season,
yeah, man.
like season it like you would a bigger steak. Like season it.
You can get cooked chicken that tastes really bland. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Season, like if you're gonna eat
That was
food,
my
season
childhood.
food.
Yeah,
Two
yeah,
veg.
yeah.
It was like, oh yay, roast chicken with no
Yeah.
seeds, like even salt. Like, mum, pass the salt, please. Anything, anything.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was still like, oh, it's Sunday dinner. I'm so excited to have the bland, usual meat that we get every Sunday.
But that's one of the
'Cause it was
reasons
so
why we kept it Sunday
glorified.
roast.
It was like,
Yeah.
what the hell? I remember one day I came in, I was like, Mum, I don't want Christmas dinner. I don't like turkey. It's crap. I
I
don't
think
like
if we're
it.
all honest, I don't
Yeah.
know, nobody
No one
likes
really
turkey.
likes it. It's
I like
not.
turkey.
Do you?
Cook it properly.
You telling me you'd rather turkey than like rib of beef or
The
something?
turkey doesn't
Of
like
course I
you
would.
very much, my friend.
I don't have rib or beef every day of the week, do I?
Yeah, no, it's just.
I'd rather have a curry on Christmas Day, to be perfectly honest. But
Not a bad shout.
sometimes you don't get to eat what you want to eat.
No, you don't.
I had a family pack of lasagna one Christmas Day. Didn't regret a thing. I was like, guys, you do you. I'll do me. And it was a great Christmas. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was great. But yeah, I just think seasoning, it just really is just learning how to genuinely understand food. And I think if it's a passion, you'll just get it.
Yeah.
And if you get to learn more and you advance more in specific ways, well, our team's just going to be stronger and stronger. So that's why we've asked people to go, I don't care if you've been training for about 40 years of your life. If you come in with bad habits and you're very structured, like, look, I'm sorry, you definitely need eggs, you definitely need milk, you definitely need cream. I'm like, actually, let me show you just a few things. But some chefs were coming in and they were like, no, we're so adamant. And they were like, no, that's not how you do it. And we're like, no, you're not vegan. You're coming to work here. Like, you
Yeah.
can't add those things. You need to understand. And it was blowing our minds that they just couldn't open their minds, even though that was literally their only job description, was to work in a vegan
Work
restaurant.
there and they can't
So
get
I
it.
thought, I'm so sorry, guys, you need to go. So we were finding people that just had passion for food, so we could train along the way. And I think that's what it's taken longer for us to build the team, like more, expand it a lot more. But I think it was worth it because the team that we have now is fantastic. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm very lucky. Like, I think we're very,
lucky.
very, very lucky.
Yeah.
You know.
Is there a dish that you want to do and you just can't get it right or get it to work or get it to taste just how you want it to do? Something you're trying to,
Oh,
you
that's
really
a
want to do, you
good-
just can't get. No matter how many times you've tried it, you just can't get it to work.
Oh, that's a really good question. Oh,
Off the top of my head, no.
I don't know.
Someone asked for caviar. We did caviar.
You did caviar?
Yeah,
How did
we
you do
did.
that?
Oh, so it's once again.
Again,
it's
reverse
this-
certification.
Just the
Certification.
droplets
Yeah.
of
It's
pets.
just, it is a little bit of a mad
Science.
science. It's just
It's bringing
again
the scientists in, yeah.
texture.
I remember more the flavour. Did you get any type of...
Basically, it's just all marinades. It really is just kind of working with the flavors, having the solution, just making sure the ratios are all right. And once you've got everything right, with technique, of course, involved, you've got it.
Some people think our dish tastes more fishier than an actual fish,
Yeah.
and that's because the flavour that we use is pure seaweed. If you use something from the sea, like where the fish is actually swimming, then that's
Kelp,
the flavour.
dill, lemon rind,
It's-
acidity,
yeah,
just
it's
all of these
Yeah,
things.
so
just
once you
really
understand the environment that you're trying to, what's the word?
Replicate.
Yeah, replicate. Thank you. Into the dish, you understand what flavours you need to bring in.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I was thinking about the caviar. Maybe like droplets of caviar to make them
Yeah,
round.
that's it, yeah.
Droplets of seaweed, like, you know.
It just
that's all it is.
that's really
Because the
it.
texture comes from the actual. What did we use? It was a.
Oh, we did a private chefing event once recently, and she absolutely loves seafood. And I thought, oh, this is our time to shine. And I was like, let's do lobster bisque ravioli.
Went really well.
I mean,
delicious.
it's because it
You got
sounded
it.
good. It was like,
We
yeah,
got it.
that sounds exciting. Let's do that. And you know what? It's actually one of my favorite dishes that we created because it was like, if it wasn't for them asking for that,
we wouldn't have
we
got
wouldn't have
into
done it. So
no.
we're like, oh, this is exciting. Let's
They
do
loved
that.
it. Went down a storm.
So I think we might do that eventually for maybe
Yeah.
like a tasting menu or something down the line. But
And this is one of the great things about us, to blow our own horn. Ego comes in.
all right, chef.
Oh, I know. I was just about to say. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm
chef.
a chef.
Yeah, chef.
If you ask us to do something, if you ask us to replicate a dish that you as a non-vegan, happy to do it.
Challenge
'Cause you could-
accepted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what we say to anyone.
Yeah.
We have a lot of regulars who come in. Oh, can you
Do
do
this.
this?
Right,
We
cool.
experiment. We come back. Try that.
On the contrary, do you really enjoy cooking for non-vegans? Like, do you see a
Love
challenge?
it. I
yeah.
actually
So our silent activism.
love
So
it.
You don't need. You just. If you enjoy food, you enjoy food. It's as
Yeah.
simple as that. That's all we are about. We're not about. We are under, but we don't shout it in your face. We don't go. Oh, you need to.
I
go
think
vegan,
we'd
you need
rather
to do this."
inspire
Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
than be
Taste this.
don't do
Right.
this, don't do
Yeah.
that. It's just because we went to there's a festival called the Vegan Camp Out, and we went I think it was 2 years ago, and it was
Well, it has to
cancelled
be
last
since
year,
last
so
year,
we're back this year, and there was one big talk. It was about the pledge, and they go in, they're like, right, so this guy was talking, and he said, look, I've taken the pledge. I can't sit at a table where meat or dairy or eggs are being consumed. This blew my mind, and everyone's like, yeah, nodding along, and I thought, God, I'm guilty. Should I feel guilty for that? Because at the end of the day, if I'm with my family and friends, I want to inspire them. How do I have that opportunity to do that
there.
when I'm just in the corner in my Jack Jonah eating, you know, the one
falafel.
option? Do you know what I
Or
mean?
stuffed
Hey,
pepper.
dried
Yeah.
falafel. Guys, you're missing out, lads. You're missing out. Do you know what I mean? Just probably me just drinking like a liquid diet, getting drunk. But honestly, like, it just blew my mind that was just a thing. And we just had to say, we shut up our hand and look, I need to
Understand
input
why,
here.
Yeah.
Why? I need to understand this because
Isolate
I'm
yourself
not
in
in
a
that.
situation like that.
I'm just not that in that mentality of being that kind of style vegan. And I felt bad a little bit. So I questioned it and I thought, here, judge if you want, but we went to a cheese festival, like a dairy cheese festival. And we were asked to do, like, can you do vegan cheese? Like, yeah, we'll do it. So we publicized it as cashew cheese, just cashew cheese. So therefore it was like new and exciting for someone. Obviously not suitable for nut allergies, of course, but it sold because it was just the wording of it. It was like, oh, that's new. It's like, oh, vegan. They're just trying to be something that's not. Do you know what I mean? And it had such a massive stigma. The
As soon
V
as they
word.
tried it, we obviously had testers on the table. As soon as someone tried it with a cracker, they were like, "Ooh,
Ooh,
that's
this
delicious."
is nice. Like
They
the
got it.
charcoal and
As soon
chili
as it's got the
cheese.
word vegan in front of it, some people are just going to be
Just
like, oh,
switch
no,
off.
that's going to be
That's it.
Completely.
And I
shut
think
off,
there's
yeah.
been so many, sadly, of course, you have this like massive anger when you first go vegan. You think, why haven't I done this sooner? But then all that anger kind of just builds up, and then you just attack at all moments, any opportunity. And I think I felt probably guilty at that because I just didn't understand why people weren't doing it. But now understanding it, I'm like, actually, we've all been there. Like, I was that person. If everyone was chill, I'm like, hey, you should try this. Oh, have you tried this? And then start to kind of introduce it and go, actually, this is all right. It's their choice to go, do you know, this is great. And they'll eventually get onto the path of saying, do you know what? That makes sense. This is the reason why I want to even include a more plant-based diet. Because a lot of people now are going the whole flexitarian, the whole everythingitarian. And
It's just about making that open-mindedness break.
Yeah.
No one's
breaking
like,
the
from
molds.
our point of view as a business and as two individuals that are vegan, have been vegan for 6 years now, is you should never force anything on anyone. You do you.
Yeah.
Each individual is up to them what they want to do with their life. All we're trying to do is say, this is an option for you. If you
Try
like
it.
it, try it.
Cool.
If you don't,
I feel like everyone at least needs to consider their diet now. Like, we can't do what we've always done. Like, as a society, as humanity, we just
I
can't.
don't think so.
Yeah, yeah.
It's unsustainable.
It is.
Commercial
It really is.
farming's unsustainable.
Yeah.
So, like, I would never say to someone, quit this or quit that, but
No.
definitely consider where it comes from, and maybe think about, if you're going to have beef, make sure it's the most expensive beef you've ever had. Like, you know, the best
The best
quality.
quality.
It's been reared really well. Like, I used to say this, and then I used to go to McDonald's and I'd have a big,
Shame.
I know. And do you know what? It was only one day, and then it dawned on me, because I went to buy a piece of beef, but it was for a cook along, so I had to get the most expensive cut because that's what the chef had suggested.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, beef should be that expensive.
Yeah,
What
'cause-
it takes
yeah.
to rear a cow, what should go into it? It should be that
and the
expensive.
quality of the actual
And
life
that was the last
it
time I ever ate.
represents,
Like,
yeah.
I go to McDonald's if I have to, because my daughter really likes it. You know, she nags, and we try and keep her away from it.
I'm going to
We
make
didn't
her a Big Mac.
I didn't even tell
I'll do
her.
it, I'll
I
do
didn't even
it.
tell her about McDonald's. We actively told her, like, we didn't mention it ever. And then one day she come home from school and she was like, I want to get to McDonald's.
School.
And we're like,
Oh
School
my
man.
what?
god, no.
How do you know about
Yeah.
McDonald's?
No.
And yeah, so if I go now, I'll try and stick to just like fries and chicken if I have to, but like definitely not beef, because I think
Yeah.
that's a
Like,
big
no.
problem. How much beef would McDonald's create? You know,
you know
what I
their
mean?
filet fish burger contains no fish. Just to put that on the record.
Oh.
So a woman
Is
sued
that a
them.
fact,
That's
though?
a fact, because a woman tried to
Definitely.
sue them. That's a definite fact.
Yeah.
You can go on Google and research it. There's a woman that sued them over 8 years ago. Said she found a bone in a filet fish burger. Took them to court. And McDonald's proved that there was no fish, actual fish, in the filet fish burger. So she
I
lost.
don't know
So
why
there
I'm
was no-
shocked, actually.
There was no
Like,
way.
yeah,
should
it's
have had it.
bizarre.
Yeah.
Absolutely bizarre. And
Yeah,
eat-
I think the way you do things is far better, because if you either sat on your own, didn't talk to anyone, and ate your own food, like huddled up while the rest of your
It
family
just-
are over there, that doesn't help anything.
how is that inclusive or
And then-
inspiring?
No.
Or if you sat at the table and then like
Discussed it?
shouted at them and said like, "That's evil," whatever you're
yeah,
eating.
yeah.
But where if you make really fucking delicious food, and then somebody comes to the cheese fest and is like, "Oh, what's that? I'll try that."
Exactly.
And then they'll be like, at another restaurant, they'll be like, "I tried vegan food with cheese once. It was delicious. I'm going to try
Exactly,
this."
yeah,
And then,
yeah.
you know, all of a sudden, you're not trying to change the world like all in one go. Or,
Yeah, 'cause
or maybe
it's-
not at all. You're
it's
just
hard.
trying to make. Everyone's got to have a little bit of responsibility and try and play your own little part. I mean, that's all you can do. And
I just want to. I was born for a reason, and I just believe that if I can leave the world in a little bit better of a place, I'm happy. You know, we all die. We're all born. We all die. That's a fact of life.
Job done.
So if I can do my bit in between,
And not
Kudos.
actually kill a lot of beings. Just like, I fancy nuggets. Like, because we had like, you know, the whole chicken nugget culture.
Yeah.
That still goes on. I remember like, but now, like even this afternoon, I said to Becky, I was like, God, like I go into my freezer, I can have anything I want. I can have like bird's eye chicken dippers. That exists.
yeah.
I don't notice a difference. And I don't know if it's been so long since I had the real chicken, but I can't. Everything is just so easily accessible now that sadly it's really dangerous, because at the end of the day, I'm eating all of the replicas that I used to eat. When we first started, it
I
was
lost
all
a lot of weight.
it
and
was
I maintained
healthy.
It was because there was very
maintained it. It
little
was
choice.
great. Then Ben and Jerry's like, yeah, we got ice cream now. Oh, we've got vegan cheese now. We get Hellman's mayonnaise. I'm like, no,
Absolutely
I
screwed.
said no to you. I was doing well.
Yeah.
I was doing well, guys.
I
But,
love
like,
vegan ice cream. I don't know what it is. It's just extra sweet.
Delicious.
I don't know,
It's
it's
just-
ramp up the sugar in it or whatever, but
don't
it's
know.
so
and then you can
nice.
almost say, well, I can have more because really,
Yeah.
I'm doing no harm. Ha ha
Yeah,
ha.
in my head, I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's got to be healthy. It's vegan.
Absolutely.
vitamins.
Vitamins, man. Vitamins. But yeah, I just
Delicious food is delicious food. Like,
that's
no.
it.
Yeah,
And
that's
I think
it,
that's
man.
where
Good food's
humane
good
food.
food.
That's where humane came from.
And we need
like,
more people to be of that mindset. Like good food.
100%.
Don't just because it's got a label, you know.
I think that's what is wrong with society
Labels
most
in
times.
general.
Right? We
We could
had
get
a
really
discussion.
deep on this.
We
like,
could go deep on this.
Really
Let's
deep.
not label
This is
it
what's
all.
wrong with society.
I mean, we could tick a lot of boxes.
We had a 2-hour
Yeah.
conversation this morning in bed, didn't we? Talking
Yeah.
about labels. It was hilarious. Well, actually, not
Just
hilarious. It was
labels in general. We were like,
How does this
why
work? Why are people thinking
are
they
there
can
so
shut
many
themselves in this
labels?
category? But anyway,
think
that's a
it
whole
just-
different topic.
People like simplicity. And if there's a label you can stick on something, then in some people's heads,
just
that's
easier.
right. Well, that's that.
yeah,
Not understanding the there's so
what
many
comes with
different
it.
variants and so many different things that are labelled just doesn't really make sense for most things.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
people are really concerned with other people, like, you know,
I
just
don't know
let
why
They
people
everyone's
do
really
bothered.
their
care,
own
don't
thing,
they?
like, you know what I
Considering
mean?
everyone's really selfish
Live a
nowadays,
life.
they care a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, chill out.
Is this affecting you? No. So why are you bothered?
chill out,
Just
man.
stay away.
Just be nice. But yeah, the whole pledge thing blew my mind, and I think it was like, right, this is what we're doing. Please don't judge us, because I felt like we were an entire hall with like thousands of vegans, and I was like, oh god, this is going to be absolutely detriment to our branding. It was like, oh god. But I was like, look, this is what we're doing. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think this could be another alternative for inspiration, perhaps. And thankfully, he was like, actually, keep doing what you're doing. I was like, this contradicts everything you're doing. I don't understand. I don't understand. So I think there's just, everyone's different in their experience and how they approach and how they actually just attack something in different ways. Me, I just go, yo, just chill, have some good food. By the way, you didn't kill a cow today. Well done, Susan. Merry Christmas. Do you know what I mean? Just those little small things, because, you know, it is hard to be on the vegan path. You learn every day. Heck, we still make mistakes. You know, like you see something like, how the hell does a head of lettuce contain milk? That's where we're at now. Everything contains milk. And I'm like, just chill, guys. But yeah, it's just one of those things. One of those things, yeah.
Eating out in general, obviously, you're not from Birmingham. People might hear that.
Just a little bit. Bab, you're rude.
What's it like eating out in Birmingham, especially from a vegan perspective?
Now or when we first went
Both,
vegan?
really.
Oh god, when we first went vegan, it was hard. Like, it was just, we went to the usual places and the vegan option would just be dire. It would just be like stuffed pepper, the risotto, the usual bland pasta with tomato sauce with literally nothing else. And it was like, did I just pay for that? Like, I had to pay for something I'm extremely disappointed in, and I'd just be angry. So then we just didn't go out, and we're like, nah, we just created home. And then one day it just snapped. We're like, right, we're going to create it. We're just going to fricking start this ourselves. And that was it. But now we could just go anywhere. We can go to Brighton, we can go to London. All these places are amazing. But Birmingham has like these independents now popping up and going, hey, check us out. Hey, check us out. And it's just so amazing, because like, you've got lots of independents that are really trying, and they don't even think about, like, don't think twice about like, oh, should we just have a vegan option? They just include it anyway. They have an entire menu, and I'm like, oh my god, things are changing. I'm going to get fat. It's going to be great. So I think it's great that Birmingham's fattening me up for
It's
Christmas.
not even food, it really. It's even every beer company in Birmingham, they're all
100%.
It's all vegan now.
Yeah, and it's just brilliant. Like, it's
And there's no reason it shouldn't be, because I think Birmingham
Yeah.
boys are some of the best there is.
absolutely. I think Birmingham is awesome in regards to the independent scene. My God, it just has lots to give. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that we're extremely proud of, to be a part of that, to be inclusive of such an amazing community where you've got like everyone King's Heath, you've got like Pip's Hot Sauce, right? Then you've got like, oh God, like that's just one. And I'm like, oh my God, there's just so many, like all of these places, they just give good quality of what they do.
Yeah.
They just mastered the art and go, yo, this is what I really love and passionate about. Let's just smash it. So I absolutely love the fact that we're a part of that, and it's a huge honor almost. Do you know what I mean? It really is, really is.
And where are you working out of at the moment?
Sorry?
So where are you working out of at
So
the moment?
we're currently at Sobermessa in the custard factory, and we've been there now for about 8-9 weeks, I think it is.
Yeah, so we did takeaways. So we took over the kitchen. We rented the kitchen from them, and we did takeaways when it was still in lockdown. That was February of this year. We started with that. And then we opened up with them. They opened up their own bar, and it's their first concept of a bar. And we started serving with them 8 weeks ago when the bans lifted for the inside, for the outside. And then when the bans lifted inside, we are still currently with them as a takeover.
Yeah, man.
And it's it's Digbeth is a great location. Like,
Digbeth is awesome. You got like
Yeah.
670 grams.
Really good.
You got no basic
There's so much
boutique.
stuff in
You've
there.
just got loads. Rico Reliever, like you've got loads of places. And then you got Zoomhoff. Then you've got good old Chris from like Fat Food UK. He's bashing them out as
He's
well.
selling
and-
your burgers as well.
yeah,
isn't
he is. I'm
He's-
like, yes, man. Yes, Chris.
And they're doing really well. He's
I know,
done a lot
right?
of
Yeah, we
orders.
went down 2 Sundays ago, was it? And it was, he's doing a
It's
great
just
job.
yeah. It was fair. It was a cool moment because obviously like fair enough, he hasn't been like he's very meat oriented, but at the same time I followed him because obviously his Instagram was crazy and he was just like an awesome guy all around.
He was at the awards we
And
went to, wasn't he?
Yeah,
And he won that award as well.
Yes, he won, like, was it the best blogger at the time?
Yeah.
And we were at his table and it was just, we were all like, it was such a cool
Big with
table.
Dining Club was on our table as well.
Like
so
we
it was
had
a really
like
nice
Katie
table.
and
Yeah,
Jacob from like the couch and everyone. Like it was just, it was a really cool table and the energy of that table was unbelievable. So when he won, it was just a massive party. Like, oh, so
shots around, let's go.
it was just a great night out, and like I just thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
But he's just great. He's just great. So
And he contacted us and he only just he was like, I want to serve some vegan pies. You're the best. What do we do? All right.
it's like,
So,
what you want?
And
We'll
he's doing
create
really
it
well
just
with it.
for you. And he's like, I want this, and I was like, cool. And
tried
then
a
we
few
came into the
options.
kitchen, and I was like, right, try this. He was like, okay. And I was like, what do you want me to add? Go, talk to me. I'll literally add it. Let's go right now. And he was like, ooh, try this. And I was like, cool. And I remember he said, I have black garlic, roasted black garlic mayo to go with it. And I'm like, oh, okay, I know what to work with. So then I started like, playing these ideas. And I was literally cooking as we go. I was like, yo, try this. And he was like, yeah, that's it. So we got to just like make a custom burger just from at the time because he knew what he wanted. We wanted to create, and it was just it just made sense. So I think I always think that's a really exciting moment when we get to just make something specifically for someone else that just makes sense to what they want to really represent from their brand as well.
And they're doing really well.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
he's selling
smashing
like,
it out, so
he's
well done.
contacted us a few times and he's like doing really well with the vegans.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of orders, to be fair. But that's
Good man, Chris. Good man.
Oh, I'm not joking. That place is always busy.
It's a
Yeah.
massive, like,
Oh,
900
and we went
acres,
Sunday daytime and they were like, "Yeah, we can squeeze you in." And this was Sunday day.
That's
It's
nuts.
crazy
Yeah, it's
busy.
Have you plans for your own place?
Do we?
Do we?
Mate, from day one.
Yeah.
It's always been there. And I think because of the collaborations, we've had really good opportunities to kind of adapt in many different ways. But now we're very clear what we want to do. So clear. It's crystal clear. And with lockdown, obviously, we've been kicked back to 1994. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, great. So we're behind on that sense, but we've got a lot of plans. But it's happening. It's gonna happen, and nothing's
Without
gonna
a
stop
doubt,
us.
without a doubt.
Nothing is
I
stopping
can
us.
tell this is definitely happening one way or
God.
another.
We'll have a restaurant. Do
Yeah,
not worry.
we've
We're
had.
coming Birmingham, Maria.
It's happened 'cause, as we said before, myself, we both met in the bar industry, and yeah, we always wanted to have a bar as well, so it just made sense
Just
because
big bar and restaurants.
Definitely a bar and restaurant.
sure,
I remember
cocktails, man.
17 years old, Pulp Fiction, Jack Rabbit's. That was my concept when I was 17 years old. I saw that film and I was like, oh, as much as it's a great film, Quentin Tarantino, I love the director. His work not so much at the moment, but he's done some good films in the past in my perspective. And that was one of my big films growing up. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, that is a majorly good concept. To have a dance floor in the middle, have your cars in it. It's like, damn. If anyone steals this, it's going to be mine.
You did, you
didn't take
gone.
that.
Definitely
So
get
yeah,
Yeah.
from the get-go, that was my plan. And how many years on? 15 years now?
I think so.
I still don't have a restaurant. However, I do have the concept of a restaurant.
Yeah.
So I'm on the right path. And I think I've learnt the right knowledge to get me where I want to be.
Will all the drinks be vegan as well on the bar? Or?
100%.
No, so we're going to
Yeah.
have beef fat.
Yeah, we're going
Carry on.
extremely controversial and really offend every
Just-
sucker
just
that comes in
just a
here.
big pint of blood.
Surprise! No.
Enjoy.
It would
No,
be
yeah.
the most horrific thing ever if that was to ever happen. But yeah, no, we have.
There's just too
God.
many great products on the market right now where you just
too
don't
easy.
Yeah, it's
It's
for
too
us because,
easy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
never
everything
been a
will-
better time, really, has it?
No,
Oh my
perfect
God.
timing.
Yeah.
It really is.
So you say you make it sound like you have plans, like you've always had plans in a kind of dreamy kind of way. But is there any concrete plans? Or?
Well, you say concrete. Oh goodness. I would love to divulge into your plans, but I feel
Contracts
like
have not been signed as of yet.
No, I wouldn't want you to disclose that. But are we talking like maybe in a restaurant by the end of this year?
everything is really dependent because right now, basically, this is what happened. We've been working almost a year on a place, and last minute, like, hey, surprise, we would like this. You need to do this. Oh, here's another 50K. I'm like, no, that's not what we agreed. So then it's just everything's kind of fallen through because of just non-clarity on their behalf. So it's like, oh, guys, come on, we're independent. Just It is
And
what
it
it
wasn't
is.
like it
Be
was just an extra
clear.
couple of hundred. It was an extra like 50k they were asking for.
50,
And it's
I'm
like
like,
this was after
what?
a year of talking to this company.
Saying, I
It's like,
really want
we've
independence.
been closed for a year. We've only done pop-ups. We don't have the finances to do that. So unfortunately, things have fallen through.
Yeah.
However, we are in contact and we do have.
We will do everything in
In
our
power.
power. And if we have to build it ourselves with these two hands, so frickin' be it. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, no, it is on the cards, absolutely. 'cause
Yes,
we've got
by the end
too
of this
many
year.
exciting
Yeah, we
plans.
do, we do.
Absolutely. And a team that we really want to showcase. I'm like, yo, we've got a team. Let's go.
We've got festivals booked in this year as well. So we're back at the Vegan Camp at the end of August, and we're also at the Aston Hall,
Independent Birmingham, yeah. Which is
which
really
is
exciting.
yours. We did that 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm there.
Ah,
It's
you
a good
missed
festival, man. It's a good festival. So we're
Yeah.
happy to be there
forward
again.
to that.
Yeah.
You went the last time it was open, didn't you? It's my first time going to that one.
Oh,
You'd enjoy
really?
it,
Yeah,
so-
Joe Schuber's done amazing things. For
Yeah.
Independent Birmingham, though, they've smashed it.
Mm.
Like, they've really helped Independent Birmingham, like,
Mate,
Independent, sorry.
And bring it together
Scroll.
as well. It's nice to have a company that understands how to like. It's basically formed a community, and it's got everyone involved on the same platform, which is what most people and businesses want to do. And they've done a really good job of it. We're very happy to be a part of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're massive fans of Independent.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice guy. I think we're going to get him on the podcast at some point. Just
Ah,
to
cool. Yeah, Joe's great.
tell everyone about it. I
Yeah,
feel
man.
like we got most of it in. Second
Okay.
time round again.
Oh, swing!
Is
yeah,
it recorded? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all recorded.
I won't tell you any more
Oh,
life stories because
nightmare.
I'm pretty sure we could just keep talking.
Was there anything else you wanted to shout out? Anything you wanted to plug?
Oh, God. I just know I'm going to regret it when I go home. I'm like, oh, I should have said that. It's always one of those things.
Shout out
But-
though. We have to.
God. Honestly, we just want to say thank you to everyone
everyone.
who supported us.
We can't do an individual. We've been too many collaborations.
Too many collaborations, but honestly,
And
they've
my
all
mum.
been great.
Like this all started
Yeah.
because of my little bit of savings that I had, and 2 because my mum had a little bit of extra money
Yeah.
to pump in, and without her, we would not be sat here right now.
Wouldn't
where
have
we
had the
are.
money.
Call
So
her
nice.
the legend,
Nice.
Mama JJ.
Shout
Mama
out to
JJ. Oh, I can't wait for her to listen to this. Hey, Mama JJ, how we doing?
She's very tech illiterate,
And she will
still
most
has old
likely-
school.
She'll be dancing at Independent Birmingham. I'm
she
not
did a video.
even joking. The
There's a
last
video
time we did
online.
Independent Birmingham Festival, she was in the kitchen like, yeah, I'll help out. Her tune comes on, bit of Motown comes out. She comes right to the front. Jana, we kind of need you back here. No, this is my tune, and there she was,
There's about 6
giving the
people recording
wiggles.
her, and I was like,
I mean, I'm like, do you know what? People can wait because this is a dinner and a show. Let's do this. But yeah, I think she's been a fantastic support, and honestly, friends and family.
yeah.
Like, they're just incredible. And like, even just like them even opening businesses because of that, because we're like, hey, you have a passion, do it, let's go. And because they're stuck, they're like, oh, I don't know, should I do it? I don't care. So if anyone is listening and you want to
Just
do
do
it,
it.
just do it.
It's a really nice place because if you spoken to me when I was working full time for over 5 years ago for different companies, I would have said it. The reason I held off for so long is because I felt like didn't have the education and knowledge to do it myself. However, in just sticking yourself right into it and learning as you go, it's scary and it's stressful, don't get me wrong. However, if you want to make it work, it will. And the amount of people that have come to us over the last couple of years and said, you've inspired us to start something, that is exactly one of the things as a business entity that we really appreciate, because we
Didn't
just want
expect it, but
no,
my
but
God,
we have.
like,
One of your
wow.
best mates has started her own business as well.
Yeah,
in
so
lockdown.
Ocean Earth, like, she started jewelry. Now she's
She's a
like
lawyer.
she's in, like, she's a solicitor. She does, like, she's in law. She's all in. She says yes every social freaking thing in the world. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna start a business. I'm like, mate, how can you even do that? But she's smashing. I'm like, mate, that's amazing. So just all of that support. I think you've, like, surrounding yourself in that bubble. But I think, again, it's about work ethic as well.
is.
'Cause I think, like, younger generations very much like I've worked 15 hours. It's been a long
I'm tired.
it's been a long week. And I'm like, mate. And I could tell you horror stories from when I was 14.
Where was that? Was that the pub?
It was a good time. It was a good time. No. So obviously, on the first round of this, we did discuss our first day at work.
Yes.
And I don't know if I should even repeat it, but I will.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll
Yeah.
do it. So when I was 14, I lied about my age and I said, do you know what? I want to start work. Let's do that. It's a great idea to start so early on, give myself lots of different stresses. And I just went off to a hotel. It was Jackson's Hotel in Ballybofey. Hey. And it was a 14 frickin' hour shift. And it was a wedding of 250 people. And 10 hours in, I was like, okay, surely someone's going to say, throw in the towel. You need to go home. You need to go home. But no, they were like, Frank, jump on the bar. We need someone pulling pints. I'm like, great. I'm about to die now. Let's do that instead. And I remember coming back at 4 a.m. after closing everything. Long day. And Mum was like, where the hell have you been? Where? And I was like, Mum, I've had a long day. I just want to go to bed. I've got school in the morning. I haven't done my homework. I'm going to be a lot of shit tomorrow. And that was it. And she was like, Frank, you get down these stairs. Explain to me. I was like, Mum, I have a 50 quid tip. I'll give you some of it if you just let me go to bed. I'll do that for you. And that was it. And I just had this insane work ethic ever since. It's been an absolute curse at the same time, because we both are workaholics, because we're all in. So now it's time to go, right, assess, let's go, grow bigger, world domination, no pressure.
So it doesn't sound like things are about to get any quieter
Dude,
for you.
Jeff
two,
Bezos.
so-
Mate,
yourself.
Jeff, move aside. No. We just
No,
want
that
to do
guy
good
had a plan.
things, be kind, grow, and just produce good food.
Yeah.
Honestly, our thing is quality over quantity.
Yeah.
I think a lot of brands are going like, they just keep expanding, but less. You see like all these things going to supermarkets, and it's like, you're so
tasty,
much
like-
better when you were just smaller.
Yeah.
Just wait a little bit longer. Okay, we've waited a few years, but I feel like, okay, we understand a little bit more. We get it. So, if we do make mistakes, okay, fair enough. But I think quality over quantity any day of the week. Absolutely. So,
I agree.
fingers crossed we continue.
Yeah.
Awesome. You got your questions? Or?
I got my questions.
Oh, go on.
This
Some
section,
questions.
really simple questions. Answer them however you want to answer them. They're only about you, to give people more of an in-depth guide onto yourselves. You'll know the answers because they're about you. What's your favourite movie?
Oh, mate.
That is a really bad question. Do you want to
You
know
threw
why?
me off guard. Okay.
I had.
Go
So I was a film buff for many years when I was a teenager growing up. The first thing when I moved out was every time I moved, my DVD collection was the first thing that went up. And it went
Yeah.
from Disney to animation to comedies to action, and then to
It was
scary
impressive.
movies. It was what I put first. However,
Impressive.
I grew as a person a little bit more, and I found out that it wasn't the be all and end all. So my movie choice changed. However, as I've already plugged, Pulp Fiction was one thing that steered me in a direction that I'm in now. So I'd have to say one of those. I'd have
Pulp
to say Pulp
Fiction. That's a good choice.
It's a good show. man.
Really good one.
Oh God, it's really hard because I'm silly. I'm really silly.
You're
know
allowed
Amelie,
silly
though.
choices.
I will. Amelie. Do you know Amelie?
Yeah, I've seen that.
I think
It's
the
good.
soundtrack is incredible. Jan Tiersen's like one of my favorite composers of all time.
Yeah.
And that come from a dancing background. Yeah, that was like a huge inspiration. I just love that film. But I love a bit of Anchorman.
Oh, you know.
Quote me any Anchorman
No,
film, I'm all in. Let's go.
Every sentence, every word you can quote.
Yeah.
She
If you watch
hates
Anchorman,
watching it with me, and
she
I'm
just-
like,
she
it's
just
such a
talks.
hot
I'm
day.
like, I wanna watch
Milk was a bad choice.
Yeah. But it's amazing how bad the second one was, though. The first one was this
Don't.
work of genius.
I know.
And then every second of the second one, I sat
like,
there
what?
going, this is
What?
a horrible film.
I know. I was like, well, you disappointed me.
Yeah,
I think
it's about a movie.
the only thing I
Yeah.
genuinely really enjoyed in the second one was Steve Carell in the opening scene
With
at
his
his
death
own
funeral.
funeral. And I was like, nah, that's hilarious.
that was
If you
funny.
watch that a few times, it gets funnier. But I think, yeah, that's one of those films that just, because I bought it by mistake one day and I was like, I'll throw it on. And I watched it over and over and over again. And I was like, actually, this has surprised me. I like this film. So,
Bears
yeah.
menstruation.
Jokes. So, yeah.
I love lamp.
Oh God, I think that's the only films that come to my mind. But I have a lot of films because I grew up like mum loved her films too. So I may regret saying that later on, but I think that's my two.
Anchorman's definitely one of them.
Anchorman and
Yeah, it's a
Amelie. I
good
just
choice.
loved it. Love it.
What's your favourite band or DJ or artist?
Composer, anything,
Anything.
music-wise.
Oh, that's good.
See, right now, I don't listen to the radio. I think I've kind of gone back to the old school 90s. Obviously, it's my era that I grew up, so 90s
Nice.
hip-hop, R&B is what I grew up in. However, Frankie, as the dancer that she is with the music knowledge that you have, has introduced me to so many new artists, composers. Yeah, like my mind's blown up with the amount of people that you know. So you've introduced me to a lot of new people. It depends what mood I'm in. This is why like favourites are very difficult. To me, I'm quite adaptable in what I need at a certain time. So if I'm in a happy mood, I listen to certain things. If I'm in a bad mood, I listen to other things. And they're still favourites, but it's just in what mentality state I'm in at that point in time. R&B if I'm in a good mood, because then it just takes me back to jamming in the kitchen. Like on Saturday, I was just jamming to my 90s R&B beats. Yeah, a bit of Usher on, you know.
Very different kind of style kitchen.
Jamie Foxx. Yeah.
R&B groove with Rebecca. No,
Definitely. I'm a bit of Motown as well. I love my Motown. That's my parents.
Yeah.
Gloria Estefan. Parents, once again, mum. Road trips when we were kids. She just used to stick me in the car. So right, we're going for like a 2-hour drive. I'm like, right, mum. Never have any recollection of where we ended up. Just
just Gloria Estefan.
The music, you know. Who did we see in Symphony Hall?
Lisa Stansfield.
Lisa Stansfield.
Yeah.
Gloria's son.
Yeah. I had a very, very different upbringing.
Yeah.
My dad was
Daniel
very...
O'Donnell.
My friend, how did you know he is my rock star? Yo, D.O.D. Yeah, Daniel O'Donnell's my absolute fave. Absolute legend. Rocking out Daniel O'Donnell on a Friday night. No, I grew up, well, my dad loves a bit of Big Tom. Loves, like, I mean, you can't, not enough Big Tom for days for that man. Mum loves, like, she loves classical. So I remember she used to be like, she would test me on classical music and she'd be like, okay, what's this? And I'd be like 7. I'd be like, Tchaikovsky, spell it. TC. And I'm like, okay, cool.
This is what I get now. So when you saw
Becky hates me, like, okay, name the song, name the year, name the week. No, it was, yeah, so she tested me a lot on music. So my music was like very eclectic. So we had classical. I loved jazz because obviously I did like dance for 23 years. It's a long time. So I had a massive eclectic of music. But Tash Sultana right now, like a bit of like that. Oh God, I did a lot of locking whenever like I used to compete in any dancing like Euros or Worlds and stuff. It was very locking, sort of like Motown funk. But I was really into dance, like trance at the time, like whenever I was like mid-teens. So we were talking about Andy Whitney, Lisa Lashes. I remember dancing for Lisa Lashes, Boy George, like all of these people. So mine just keeps changing over and over. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in the mood for this. Oh yeah, I'm in the mood for this. But yeah, I toured like different, like the last tour we had was Mary J. Blige. And I remember I was a massive fan of hers. And I remember the only time I met her, she walked past me on the stage before we had to perform in front of 10,000 people. We're like, wow. And in my head, I thought I froze for about half an hour. It was literally a minute of a second. I was like, so I kind of got a little bit starstruck there. But all her music, like it's just whatever I grew up dancing with. But right now, oh God, it's hard to know. Like Tame Impala right now, love.
Michael Kiwanuka.
Michael Kiwanuka. Yeah, he's great. Really,
good.
really loving that right now.
Hosier went through a phase of Hosier as well. I thought he was a
Freya Ridings.
Freya Ridings.
Bit of
Seen her a
that.
few times in concert in Birmingham. She did like
God,
really small gigs.
I have such
Glee
a
Club.
huge bit. Hey, ELO, bit of that.
Yeah.
T-Rex, bit of that. Loved a bit of that. Yeah, I grew up with such an eclectic. It's really hard to pinpoint, so that's a hard question. I'm going to stop there. God, I'm so sorry. What's your favorite band? Everyone. Foo Fighters, ELO, T-Rex, Strauss, Tchaikovsky. No, everyone.
What's your favourite spirit?
Whiskey.
Which
There's
one?
not. I'm so glad you asked. Belvany 14-year-old Caribbean cask to a T. 2 cubes of ice, double, job done. That is my favorite drink. That is my favorite drink. Yeah, done. Simple
Appleton's
answer.
21-year rum. It's really bad that our heritage. Well, it's not bad. But you're Irish. I'm half Jamaican. I'm going to rum. You're going to whiskey. But to be fair,
Not
like, the
stereotypical
Appleton's
To be
at all.
honest,
21-year-old
rum and whiskey are the 2 of the greatest drinks on the planet anyway. So
Absolutely.
it seems silly
Sweet
not to
nectar
have
of the
them.
gods. Absolutely.
Literally a little bit of citrus and a little bit of ice. That's all you need.
Job done.
Mixers, and that's what this is. What vodka. So when you're growing up, obviously you hit the vodka hard because you're like, oh, vodka Red Bull. But when you get a bit older and your palate develops, you're like, vodka tastes like ass. Like it's not like the market may have changed a little
Love of
bit.
trauma in teenage years. That's what it's saying.
I'd rather leave it alone.
Yeah, man.
I'll stick with my rum. Thanks.
Yeah. Angostura 1919. That's another one.
I love Angostura.
Oh,
That's
yes.
my
Okay.
favorite, yeah.
Sorry. I'll get into this one. Move the questions on.
That's it, man. What's your favourite takeaway?
Are you ready?
Butter chicken.
I'm disgusting.
Like
No.
we came across this place in February this year, didn't we? In lockdown.
Yeah, it's like, it's just new.
It's why I've gained 2 stone.
Like New
in 3
Soho
months.
Tavern.
I'm not even lying. New
Really?
Soho Tavern
Yeah.
is just
We just discovered
their
I'm not
vegan
even
butter chicken is just absolutely unbelievable. The flavour they pack into it.
I don't know
and
what it
the
is. It's just such a
creaminess.
guilty pleasure. I'm like,
Yeah,
do you know,
it's
I'm not
great,
even
dude.
into
Plain naan,
curries.
chips and the butter chicken.
That's the thing. We weren't even into
No,
Indian.
Never.
I was like, yeah, Becky, I feel like
So
a
I'm
mild
mentioning
creamy
it.
curry. That was in February. We've had about a million orders of butter chicken since.
You
And
know
we're
when
like,
you go on your Deliveroo or whatever you
with
app
2
you order,
hours
it's like
searching.
you order.
Butter chicken.
Yeah,
Butter
it's the
chicken.
same every time.
Every time. It's like going to Chinese. You're
Oh,
like,
mate.
I'll go for something
Number 2,
different.
number 5.
Yeah,
and-
112, please. The same usual, please. Every
Yeah, that's our
freaking
guilty
time.
pleasure at the moment, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. Since February this year, we've just...
But
demolished
takeaways.
it.
But like, oh God, it's really
Mr.
hard.
Sings, mate. Mr. Sings is up there for me as well.
Yeah.
Last year I was having a lot of Mr. Sings.
A health kick was like, Plant and Pulse. Like they've got
Oh
like
yeah,
a
we
good
ordered
thing
some
going.
butter
Yeah,
bowls
yeah.
from Planet Pulse
Yeah,
as well.
that was really
delicious.
cool.
When you want
Oh,
your health
God.
kick, when you've had a bit too much fat, you're like,
Like,
maybe I should
okay,
have it. Then you have
chill.
one day out of the 2 months, and you're like, oh yeah, but I feel good now. That was
I
our
just had
butter
some
bowl.
really nice sauteed kale. Amazing.
I feel happy.
Vitamins.com.
Butter chicken.
Disgrace.
What's your favourite dish that you cook at home?
You've already answered this with a
Noodle.
10 kilogram bag of noodles.
No, I love making a Sunday roast.
Yeah.
No matter what day of the week it is. I love a hearty, wholesome lunch. Like it's really love it. Love a good pasta dish. Becky will, like if I make Becky like even 2 slices of toast, it'll take about 3 hours simply because I have to do other things to it. That's
can't just give me a
why
butter
I'm in
toast.
the
She
front of the
can't just give
house.
me a
I
butter
just
piece
can't
of
do it.
toast
I can't do
ever.
it. Like now, you should try this. Try this.
I don't know if it's a trick, so I don't have to. She doesn't have to cook at home.
She hasn't caught on yet. It's been 8 years.
Yeah.
She won't cook for me. No. So I think any form of potatoes.
Noodles,
obviously.
pasta, or mash.
Yeah.
I think you're good.
Yeah.
Noodles especially. We're still going on the 96 packs of noodles that we bought in COVID since the first lockdown last March.
Yeah, we went
We've
all
still
in
got
with the
half a
noodles
box.
just in case the apocalypse genuinely happened.
We'd
Yes.
survive. Twinkers and noodles.
Yeah, I think I love sauces as well. If I can have a really good dish with a damn good sauce, any sauce can make an incredible dish.
And that's why we've got carbonara on at the moment, actually. We always have
Oh,
pasta dish.
love a good
People miss
carbonara.
pasta. Like, everyone does burgers and like the fast food. I think it's just a little bit of a tweak that we have with our companies that we just make sure that we just do something a little bit different. It's not home comfort. Like, no one does really pasta the same way. So our carbonara sells really well as well. And that's yours.
Questions?
Fantastic.
Muchas gracias.
Thanks very much for coming on the
Thank you very
show.
much, guys.
I hope we didn't bore you with
I know,
all of
thanks
our
for
stories.
No,
Absolutely.
It was
Loved
brilliant.
that.
Yeah, it was a great one.
Really great
Thank
fun.
you so much, and thanks for the great questions and content. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hopefully it's not like a mundane interview where it's just the same generic.
Blah 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 blah.
Yes.
Yeah. But thank you for
Thank you.
having us.
No
Thank
It's
problem.
been a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.